All right, so we hear this term AI ethics thrown around all the time, right? But what does it actually mean when the rubber hits the road? Today, we're going to cut through the noise. We're talking about a real, practical blueprint for building responsible AI. How to turn these big, abstract ideas into something you can actually use. Let's dive in. And really, it all boils down to this one big question. Think about it. AI is getting smarter at this absolutely breakneck speed. But are we getting any wiser about how we're actually using it? See, this isn't just some tech problem for engineers to solve. Nope, this is a deeply human challenge for all of us. Okay, so what is the actual problem here? Well, right now, AI systems are making these huge decisions that affect every part of our lives. We're talking everything from whether you get a loan to your medical diagnosis. And without some kind of moral compass to guide them, all that unchecked power can do some serious real-world damage. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. You have to understand, AI isn't just some neutral tool. It's a mirror. It reflects us. Every single algorithm, every piece of data, it's all stamped with the fingerprints of the people who made it. That means our values, yeah, but also our biases. So building ethical AI, it's all about being super intentional, about consciously embedding our best values right into the code itself. Okay, great. So how in the world do we actually do that? Well, step one is all about laying that ethical foundation. Before you write a single line of code, you have to define your core principles. Think of them as your non-negotiables, the bedrock that's going to support every single AI system you build from here on out. So, our first principle is all about being human-centered. The idea here is that AI should be a tool that augments us. It should be a partner that makes us more creative, more efficient, better at making decisions. The goal is never ever to replace human judgment or our autonomy. It's a tool to amplify us, and that's how we protect human dignity as things get more automated. Principle number two, and this one is huge. We have to get data ownership right. And the point is really simple. The data you create belongs to you, period. A company that uses it, they're just a steward, a caretaker. They are not the owner. This whole principle is built on respecting your consent, your privacy, and your control over your own information. And our third foundational principle is all about transparency and explainability. Just think about it for a second. If you have no idea how an AI came to a decision, how can you ever really trust it? It's a black box. We have to be able to see how these systems work, what data they were fed, and who was behind the training. Without that kind of clarity, you can forget about accountability. All right, so we've got our principles locked in. Now we move from the what we believe to the how we build. Think of it like this. An architect doesn't just start throwing up walls. They use a blueprint to make sure the building won't collapse. We need that exact same mindset for AI, designing against danger from the very beginning to proactively stop ethical failures before they're ever built in. But that brings up a really tough question, doesn't it? How can you possibly predict all the ways a tool that you designed to be helpful could end up causing harm? Well, the answer is you have to force yourself to think about the flip side, to almost think like an adversary. And this is a super simple but really powerful way to do that. It's called dichotomy mapping. On one side, you list the awesome thing you want your AI to do, the intended benefit. And on the other side, you force your team to brainstorm the potential harm. So you want to personalize guest experiences? Great. The potential harm is misusing personal data. You want to increase efficiency? The harm could be dehumanizing the whole process. This simple exercise, it's absolutely crucial for connecting the dots between the cool tech you're building and its real-world ethical impact. And, a huge part of this is remembering that ethical design is inclusive design. They're the same thing. It is absolutely our responsibility to build systems that work for everybody, not just for the average user. And that means you have to get out there and test with diverse groups, you have to build in accessibility for people with different abilities, and you have to be on the lookout for digital discrimination from day one. Okay, so we've got our principles, and we've mapped out the potential dangers. Now it's time to actually build the guardrails. And these are exactly what they sound like. They're the hard-coded rules, the safety measures that take our ethical ideas and turn them into real, practical, unbreakable rules for the AI. And you can really break this process down into 3 key steps. First, you set the guardrails. These are the explicit, codified rules the AI is forbidden to break. Second, you have to diversify your data. This is so important because biased data will always lead to a biased AI. And third, you actually have to use the tools out there that are designed to help you find and fix unfairness in your systems. So what does a guardrail actually look like in practice? Well, it can be a really simple rule that has a massive impact. Take this one. We do not sell user data to advertisers. Boom, that's it. It's a simple, non-negotiable rule that takes that big principle of data sovereignty we talked about and turns it into a command the system has to follow. And here's the thing, we can actually measure this stuff. Let's take a look at this table. It's a simplified audit using a tool like AI Fairness 360. You see that a loan algorithm is approving 85% of people from Group A, but only 60% from Group B. Whoa, that is a huge red flag. Then you look at this metric, disparate impact. A score of 0.70 is way below the standard threshold. This isn't just a hunch, it's mathematical proof that the system is unfair. Tools like this give us the cold, hard data we need to hold our algorithms accountable. And finally, we have to remember that this blueprint, it isn't something you just build once and then forget about. It's like a house. It needs constant maintenance. And that job, that responsibility, it doesn't just belong to the engineers. Yeah, this quote right here says everything. AI is all of our responsibility. That means the people coding it, the executives signing the checks, the policymakers making the laws, and yes, even us, the people using it every day. Every single one of us has a part to play. It takes all of us watching out for this stuff. Because at the end of the day, this is about a massive shift. It's about moving away from a culture of just compliance, of just ticking off boxes on a checklist. It's about building a culture of shared values, where this stuff is just part of the company's DNA. It's in every meeting, in every decision. And that brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of all. We have to completely reframe how we think about this. Ethical AI isn't just about playing defense, trying to avoid harm or stay out of trouble. It's about playing offense. It's a proactive, creative mission to intentionally design systems that go beyond just not hurting people and instead actively amplify human good. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about as you go about your day using all the AI in your life, your social media feed, your GPS, your streaming recommendations. Just stop and ask yourself, was this system designed for me or was it designed for itself? The answer to that question, well, it tells you everything you need to know.